Hello and welcome to Good Night Meditation. Today, our meditation topic is a joyous journey. It is the season of joy and celebration as the holidays are approaching. And even when it is a very nice feeling for all of us to spend the whole day and even the night in a joyous mood and to take this journey of joy with the mind, we have to connect with a source that can give us joy perennially, right? Permanently. So that place is our spiritual home, and in the company of our spiritual father who gives us happiness always, where we as souls, these tiny points of light, can experience that happiness constantly. We are able to actually experience joy in spite of whatever may be happening in our surroundings, in the circumstances that we are in. So, just to sort of develop that habit of taking this journey of joy, this joyous journey, again and again, will make us more stable in this state of joy. So, let us experiment with this right now. And like always, we choose a very comfortable position for the body and relax the body. Making the mind alert. We pay attention to that point of light. Separate from the body. Separate from the role that is being played. In my case, Kanupriya is the role. And while the role, Kanupriya, may have faced some sorrow, some disheartenment, some unpleasant feelings, emotions through the day, we tell the mind that all of that is temporary in nature. And we focus our attention to take a joyous journey and just checking who is taking that joyous journey. It is that point of light, separate from the role, Kanupriya. The point of light who travels to the world beyond this story world, and the whole physical realm is the story world. The world beyond is the world of joy. And that reality exists forever. There is joy in that world because There is absolute security. Security of being with the Supreme. Security of being perfect and full. Security of being in noble company of the family of stars. It is a world of joy. World where nothing is lacking. Completely full. Not a trace of need or desire. Not a trace of preference. And we see the contrast very clearly. Contrast of what is temporary and what is permanent. This being of light itself is constant, eternal, immortal. He can see that nothing in that story world, the physical world, belongs to him. That story world has a beginning and an end. And so he does not form any attachments in that world. Nothing in that world is mine. There is no sense of ownership in that world. There is sorrow when there is fear of losing something that we own. All that does not exist for the one who's awake to his own reality. The world of joy is natural for him. A life of joy is natural for him. It is like an internal celebration that exists forever. Celebration from the world beyond, where nothing and no one can harm. That is such a fortune to feel safe and secure constantly. The home of light. Home of security. Nothing can be lost. And this is where there is company of the supreme being of light, the one who is also always present and constant, constantly giving. And this brings this tiny point of light in a joyous state. Because what is needed is this permanent company of the Supreme. the one who sees in clarity the fullness and the perfection of this being of light. Not mixing it with the character, the role, not mixing it with what is temporary, seeing in clarity the contrast between what is real and what is not real, being in truth of the point of light. And the truth of the point of light is that he is naturally in a state of joy, state of celebration, celebration in the home where he is comfortable and he belongs. No expectations, no demands, no obligations, no feelings of possessions and possessiveness. State of joy, like a state of being in bliss that is beyond the senses. What matters for the one who's awake is the real world, not the temporary world where there is sorrow. And when one comes into this state of joy from the beyond, one finds it absurd to take sorrow from anything that is temporary. No taking sorrow, no giving sorrow in that story world. And that brings even more joy because one is just giving joy, no sorrow. And to become stable in this state, just the point of light, naturally in the state of joy. Joy not because of getting some cake and chocolate and presents and gifts, but joy from the invisible, the subtle treasures of the beyond, the joy of being in that experience of fullness, perfection, joy from being secure, joy from being in the company of the Supreme. That is eternal joy. And so we remind ourselves of this option that we have to take this joyous journey. Any moment that we would like to. It just takes a second to take this journey beyond with the mind. And that is the true nature of this point of light. we stay in that joyous state for the rest of the evening. And any distractions, any pull from the temporary story world, we tell ourselves that we have the option to be in this joyous, blissful state of the beyond and come back to it. Thank you and have a very good evening.